Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Thank you for your support on Patreon, the Mayor of Painesville, Dan. John Cena wants a big-time WrestleMania match. Sting wants a big-time Undertaker match. And the Revival are getting turned into comedy characters. That is gonna really make them want to stay, isn't it? No flips. Just lulz. Click the time codes in the video description down below to jump right into any of those stories. And yes, hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk Trustworthy News. I am El Fakador Laurie Blake, and there's been a whole load of return news and rumors that happened overnight. Because if you thought Royal Rumble surprises couldn't get much more exciting than Hiroki Sumi, the Japanese sumo, aka Yoko Tuna, then I've got some news for you. First off is that according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Cain Velasquez is reportedly being booked for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Now, Cain was last seen on WWE TV at Crown Jewel taking a very quick L from WWE Champion Brock Lesnar before seemingly just disintegrating from shame. Now, there's no word on whether Cain will be booked for a match, a surprise run-in, or maybe entry into the Rumble itself. But I feel like the latter is far more likely because you can imagine them having him win and then building to a Brock/Cain #2 at WrestleMania. And doing it properly this time. But considering Dominic from the Future's current WWE record, him showing up in the Rumble isn't exactly going to be quite as exciting as it would have been had he actually won the match at Crown Jewel and, not been made to look like a chump. But if the rumor mill is to be believed, there is someone else who is most certainly not a chump and could make a real impact in the Rumble, even if it was just for a 5-second pose. Because I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but the current word on the street is that the rated R superstar Edge could be in the Rumble. Now, PW Insider are reporting that Edge has just signed a new deal with WWE, and they're speculating that it may include the option for him to return to the ring. Here's what their Mike Johnson had to say. We've heard that Edge signed a new deal with WWE that has a pretty nice upside. We also reported a few months ago he was in Pittsburgh for WWE Business, and that's where WWE Wellness Policy head Dr. Joseph Maroon is headquartered. My gut feeling is we'll see Edge in the Royal Rumble as a surprise, as that seems like the perfect place to make a splash with a return for WrestleMania season, and possibly even see him do a few matches on major events. Mike then does go on to point out that Edge has obviously repeatedly publicly denied any sort of return to active competition. That's what you would say. And you also have to take into consideration that he is 46 years old, has had 8 years since his last ever WWE match, so maybe he just doesn't wanna. But then again, that spear on Elias it looked really damn good. Somebody who certainly do wanna is John Cena, but not just at the Royal Rumble, not just as a waste. No, on the grandest stage of them all. Well, the one that comes after Fastlane. WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. WrestleVotes on Twitter are saying, we heard recently that John Cena wants to do something substantial at WrestleMania, more than just an appearance like last year. Cena resides within the Tampa area, and it seems like this Mania is important to him. And you can cast your mind all the way back to April this year, and John made an appearance at WrestleMania 35, reviving the Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick to sort of verbally bury Elias, who, if you add John Cena and Edge into the equation, seems to be getting dunked on by all the returning stars. But maybe this year they'll just do a sort of collaboration, a little collab, like when Paul McCartney and Kanye West did that song. But also, I'm not entirely sure what something substantial means, because the last few Manias worth of substantial John Cena stuff involved losing handily to The Undertaker after spending most of Mania in the crowd as a fan, and beating The Miz and Maurice with the help of Nikki Bella before proposing to Nikki in the center of the ring. And we all know how that turned out. Just aces, didn't it? Coming up roses. So I guess maybe it's just safer for his personal life if he does a rap. He's got a new girlfriend now. I think it's probably it's just better, isn't it? Just leave well enough alone. Also safer for my poor little heart would be if we were just sort of done with Undertaker matches now. Because as much as I adore the guy, I just can't watch another one like Crown Jewel last year. Unless it's against Sting, because I'm nothing if not completely fickle. Now, this is a match that is so long overdue, it's seemingly gone back to being underdue, and we're actually talking about it seriously again. Weird how that works. Because Sting was chatting with Sports Illustrated and said there was only one way he would consider coming out of retirement. He said, if there was a Taker situation at WrestleMania, I would listen to that phone call, I could get in condition, and I could pull it off. I think my career is done. I still think about the Taker situation every year, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, unless it does happen. I kind of feel like it must be on the Saudi Arabia shopping list somewhere, along with resurrecting Yokozuna and getting a working hologram with Andre the Giant going that can have a match. There's probably a lot on that list. None of it realistic. Personally, I'd rather that a Sting versus Taker match just remained in the what if territory and never became a why did they do that kind of thing. But if we did have to see the two of them go head to head, I'd personally just like to see them do a sort of entrance off, both walk up and down the ramp like in Zoolander, and then RuPaul could appear and say, "Shantae, you stay," to the winner. It's a lot safer for everyone. Speaking of entrances, Chopper Pete Quenelle has recorded his punishment video for being the loser of Wrestle League. This guy's the winner, Laurie two-time. It is going live today at 5 p.m. GMT. I've seen it. It's fundamentally creepy. Here is a clip. I told you, it's fundamentally creepy. So make sure you subscribe and enable notifications so you can get on that first. The watching of the video, not the getting on Pete, because 1, ew, and 2, he recently got engaged. Not that I meant to bury Pete there, I just sort of did that for comedy effect. Which may be the reverse of what is happening with the revival on WWE. Because according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the company are planning on turning Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder into comedy characters, and in the process, inadvertently, I guess they're gonna get buried. The newsletter said, the booking plan on SmackDown is to turn the revival into comedy characters. There are mixed feelings on this for obvious reasons, it being and it still may get shot down. But the deal where Wilder tripped and fell during the ring entrance was supposed to be the start of it. Now, I'm not entirely convinced by that argument, as it looked like a legit misstep to me, and they back-referenced it at TLC before having a really quite rather super serious matchup with the New Day. However, WWE also has had them shave each other's backs in recent memory, so maybe this could be the new thing? It does beg the question though, which came first, the gimmick or the trip? Because I would like to refer you to the case of Titus O'Neil, the last person to have a spectacular fall and have that become his sort of will he, won't he, can he make it to the ring on time sort of gimmick for a while. And I ask you, where is Titus O'Neil now? Buried. Right, now let's talk Wednesday Night War, because the battle lines have shifted for the first time since this sort of whole thing kicked off. Because the viewing figures for both NXT and AEW Dynamite tell a very interesting story this week, because AEW dragged in 683,000 viewers, while NXT managed a far healthier 795,000. This means that AEW is down 100,000 from last week, and sure, there are some extra factors in play, like all of the news coverage of the Trump impeachment. But I think the big thing though is that NXT aggressively booked their show. They included 2 huge championship matches between Adam Cole and Finn Balor, who has that main roster recognition, and Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler, 2 stars that also have been making waves on the main roster, which sort of suggests that NXT's inclusion in Survivor Series and giving them lots of time on that pay-per-view has kind of paid off. It also gave NXT not only a leg up on viewers, but also a boost with that all-important 18 to 49 demographic, which jumped up to a 0.27 share, which is 0.2 higher than AEW's 0.25. I don't know what any of that means because I'm not Rain Man. But really, if you want to get the big ratings, you got to take your cues from either Raw or SmackDown, and this is the true ratings popper. I'm obviously kidding because this feud is actually all about the YouTube views, but continuing the Rusev, Lashley, Lana, love triangle storyline, the logical conclusion to any good soap opera is a live wedding, hopefully with a big sort of speak now or forever hold your peace moment, a second of quiet, and then someone going, I object! Doom, doom, It's exciting, dramatic stuff. And not only is the conclusion to this storyline happening very soon, it is basically a New Year's wedding. Fresh starts for all. Because WWE announced that Bobby Lashley and Lana are set to wed on the final Raw of 2019. Monday, December the 30th, will see the pair tie the knot, which I think is pretty tight on former hubby Rusev, because not only are he and Lana only just divorced, like I'm not even sure it's actually legally gone through yet, and now she's marrying Lashley on Rusev Day. Free wrestling stuff alert. Thanks to the wonderful people over at WrestleCrate. If you go to wrestlecrate.co.uk and you use the promo code WrestleTalk, you'll get 3 authentic autographed portraits inside your first box when you take out a subscription, including one from Ollie and Luke. None from me because I asked Pete to take my picture, but he doesn't know how to use a camera. WrestleCrate is a monthly mystery box full of loads of wrestling goodies, which has items from all of the biggest promotions in wrestling, and January's WrestleCrate will contain an exclusive item from Grado. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you haven't already, give us a subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay notified for when our videos go live. You got Chopper Pete's weird sex odyssey thing going up later today, so you got that to look forward to, I guess. Also click the videos over there for more awesome wrestling news and reviews from the world of wrestling. I've been El Fakador, and that was Lucha.